What is going on, everybody? It is Nidge here. Good morning. I'm recording this on a Sunday morning. It's the day after Eurogamer, which I attended yesterday. I had a really good day. Got to play a few different games. So I'm just going to talk to you about a few of the different games I got to play and what I thought of the games that I did actually manage to get my hands on and just the overall experience. But before I get into that, I thought I'd say thank you. I've had a few new subscribers since the launch of FIFA 15. I'm up to around the 60 mark now, which is pretty cool. So thank you and welcome to the channel, all you new guys that have jumped on board lately. And yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy the content that's been put out. What else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, I have got some photos from Eurogamer yesterday. I'll put those up at the end in some sort of mini slideshow thing, but they are only photos that I've taken on my iPhone, so they're not the greatest quality in the world, but I'm still going to put them up there so you can get a nice idea of the things I got to see and just what the overall event looked like. But I'm going to jump straight into talking about some of the games I got to play now. So, as you'll know, if you've ever been to Eurogamer or any kind of event like this, you're there from, well, I was there from 11 till 7, it shuts at 7, I think I was actually there from about 11 till 6, and the thing is, you don't get to play as much as you'd like to play. That's always the thing that you come away thinking. You only get to play a handful of games just because the queuing is so ridiculous, and the games that I'll get to play, I'll tell you now, then we'll talk about them. So, as I got to play, Assassin's Creed Unity was the first thing I saw, but that wasn't a playable game. You got to see like a theatrical trailer, then some Ubisoft person sort of did a bit of a walkthrough demo, which was pretty cool. So we got to see that. I've got it all written down here actually, so forgive me if I keep on glancing down here. Next thing I got to play on was Project Cars, which is a new racing simulation game that I really wanted to try. That was pretty cool. After that, we got to try Farcry 4, which was really good as well. And then after that was The Crew, which is the last main game that I got to play, which changed my mind on that a little bit because that was something I was looking forward to, but we'll go into a bit more detail about that now. I will start with The Crew actually. So if you don't know anything about The Crew, it's basically, the idea is you and your friends or just people that you meet online all race together across the whole of America. It's not the whole of America, but it's a large portion of America. So you've got like Miami, New York, New Orleans, places like that. You can drive from one place to another. You can do point-to-point races. You can do races around the city. There's different kinds of challenges like taking down other drivers, that kind of thing. And yeah, I think there's a story to it as well. There seemed to be a story to it from the portion of the game that we got to play. But basically what happened was we got sat down. There was me and I think there's 5 of us that went together yesterday. Am I making that up, or was it 4? 4 or 5 of us. I'm losing the plot. Still tired from yesterday, but yeah, we got sat down. There was 3 of us that played The Crew. God, I'm having a right mind blank. Yeah, there's 3 of us that played The Crew, and then there was another randomer that was on his own. And we basically all got put in together, picked a car, and all had a race against each other. Then, after we'd done one race, we got kicked into free roam, got to pick a better car, basically. But then for the second race, we were going to all race again together, but for some reason it wouldn't let me connect to them. The guy was trying to sort it out for us, but couldn't sort it out, and I ended up having to race against the computer on my own for the second race. But the game as a whole, it felt okay to drive. It was very arcadey, which is what I expected. But it just seemed really, really glitchy and just not polished very well. Now, obviously that can be because it's not the finished game, because it is at Eurogamer. Obviously they do say that to you before every game you play. They always say you got to bear in mind it's not the finished game, so if there are any glitches, things like that, do take that into account. But it just didn't feel like a good game to me. It felt average at best. I mean, the cars looked okay. I do like the idea of being able to explore and all the different challenges and that kind of thing that you can do on the way from one place to another, and I do like the thought of you hooking up with a few friends, driving all the way from sort of New Orleans to New York and that kind of thing. That sounds fun, but from what I got from the game yesterday, it was a game that I was semi-looking forward to a little bit, but it's taken the edge off it a little bit for me now. I think maybe if they bring out a demo or nearer the time, maybe get to play it again, something like that. I'll do it for sure, but yeah, it's probably a game that I would have got on release day, but it's made me think that it's a game that I can wait for. That's the key. If I get it, it's a game I can definitely wait for. So that was not Project Cars, so that was The Crew. And like I say, from what I played at Eurogamer, average at best. And what a lot of people have actually been saying is that Drive Club, which I believe is a PlayStation 4 exclusive, is a much, much better version of it actually. I don't think it's got the exploration as big as The Crew, but a lot of people are saying that's a lot better from what they played than The Crew, so that's interesting. We'll stick to driving games, so the next thing we'll talk about is Project Cars. Now, Project Cars, although it's a racing game, it's not at all like The Crew. It's very much track orientated. If you don't know anything about it, I really recommend you go on YouTube it actually, because it's a really promising looking game. It's the kind of game that to me looks like it could rival Forza Motorsport and Gran Turismo, because there's an absolute ton of tracks, there's a ton of cars, but unfortunately, the demo that I got to play didn't get to look into it too much. You got one track, which was the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, I want to say. It was something like that anyway. It was definitely an official track, and I'm pretty sure it was the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix track. And you got to do that in sort of a Le Mans race car. And that was really enjoyable, actually. I did a couple of races. I enjoyed them both really quite a lot. And it felt like a tight game. Now, this is what I mean. Whereas when I played The Crew, which is out before Project Cars, I believe, this is why it's a bit worrying for them to me, because it's coming out soon and it still felt really glitchy and not well put together. Whereas Project Cars felt like a really solid game. The driving felt good, the sound was fantastic, the graphics were nice. I was playing on the inside the car cockpit view and it was really good. It was really enjoyable. The AI were competitive but not too forceful. So you play some racing games, there's one extreme to another, and I seem to have the balance about right. You play on some racing games and the AI like smack you off the track, smack you out the way. The really super aggressive thing you play on other games like the really old Gran Turismos. I don't think it's like it anymore, but on the really old Gran Turismos, your AI would have like a racing line that they'd stick to religiously, and if you went around them, they wouldn't try and defend it or anything like that. They'd just let you pass, they'd just stick to their line. But this Project Car seemed to have the right balance of people, AI, trying to block you off, but not so much that they're aggressively sort of putting their own lives on the line, which is what it seems like some AI are doing sometimes on certain racing games. But there was also a lot of cars on the track at one time as well, which is nice. I like it when you have like a full grid. I think there was I want to say 14 or 16 cars on the track in the race that I did, which was really cool. So it's a nice grid to work your way through, and like I said, it was just a really enjoyable experience. That race as a whole, it actually goes from in the race I did anyway, it went from in the daytime to night as well during the race, which is a cool feature to see. You don't see that very often, but yeah, that was a cool game to see. And yeah, that's something I probably, this is what I mean, it's a good thing for me about Eurogamer. Project Cars is a game that I knew a little bit about, and I was considering getting it, and now playing that I probably will get that when it comes out. And The Crew was the opposite. I was probably going to get that, but now I've played that, I'm going to hold off for a bit and see what people say about it. So I mean, it's a really good place to go and get form opinions on games that you're not too sure about. But they're the two racing games that I got to play. The other two, like I say, Assassin's Creed Unity, which was a theatrical sort of presentation, and a lot of people were saying I'd not seen it, or I don't remember seeing it. Maybe I've just forgot because it seems so long ago. The actual theatrical trailer that they showed us was what they showed the people at E3, and then the gameplay that they showed us was also stuff from E3. So if that's the case, I think that was a bit poor on their behalf, but I didn't remember seeing it myself. But nevertheless, that game looks absolutely fantastic. The Assassin's Creed franchise as a whole is a franchise I am a fan of, but I think it's got a bit samey over the past few years. I mean, there's been so many, none of them have been different enough to me, and they've all had the same flaw, which they have finally fixed in this one, and that is, Assassin's Creed to me is a stealth game. So why on earth, on a stealth game, can you not crouch? That really bugs me, that does, when I'm playing Assassin's Creed. But on this game now, they have got like a stealth mode that they've called it, which does allow you to crouch, and that's pretty cool. And then they've added crouch. It's not really cool, it's something that should have been in the game for a long time, but it's something that's going to make the game a lot better. But the other thing that they've added in, which is really nice, is the so when you're climbing up things in Assassin's Creed, it's always been really good, free flowing, like great parkour movements. It's flying up the buildings, it's really cool. But when you're coming down, it's often been a bit more jerky. You end up just jumping off roofs onto the floor, sometimes killing yourself. That's now been fixed, and you've now got what they call like a sort of flowing parkour going down as well as up. And the game just as a whole looked really beautiful. Graphics are fantastic, and I think that's a game I think a lot of people are looking forward to. The co-op's going to have a big say in that game as well, because I think that's going to be fantastic, doing missions with up to 4 people. It looks like it's going to be real fun. And we actually got the coolest bit of swag, I think, of the day from the Assassin's Creed Unity thing. So it was only a presentation, but they did give us this really cool map. I don't know how I'll be able to see this because I've not got the webcam on my screen at the moment, but that's just like a map of Paris, which is where it's set. Obviously it's in the French Revolution, and they did say that it was the biggest and most immersive map that they built, and that looks absolutely huge, so I'm not going to disagree with what they're saying there. Look at that, it looks like an absolutely huge map. But yeah, that was a really cool little piece of swag. I like it when they give you things that are a little bit different like that, so I was really happy with that. That's nice and cool. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Unity, although we didn't see anything totally new, it looks like a really good game, and looks like it's going to be great when that comes out. I'm really looking forward to that. And the last game that we played, I said this to last because it was the one that I probably enjoyed the most, and that was Far Cry 4. Far Cry 3 was a really good game, not one that I actually finished. I think it got a bit stale for me towards the end, and this one could well be the same, because to me it's a very repetitive game. But it was really fun, the demo was. So what happened was You started off outside this fortress that you had to liberate, and you had 3 methods of action to liberate it. And there was one that was called aerial, one that was called stealth, and one that was called loud. I think they're the 3 things. I can't remember if they were the exact words that they used, but basically one was where you go in all guns blazing, one was where you go in all stealthy, and one was where you go in by air. So I got to do all 3, luckily, actually. Managed to do it in time. The first one I did was the loud one, so that was just your standard thing. The thing that is cool, actually, you start off outside this fortress and there's a couple of elephants, and you can sort of jump on the elephant, charge through the gate with the elephant. Stuff goes, shit hits the fan, basically. Enemies going crazy, you're firing off the top of this elephant, you can jump off the elephant, take some cover, the elephant will just make stuff go crazy, killing enemies, just causing a scene. And that one, I actually managed to finish that, doing it that method, using the loud method, in like 2 minutes, because the elephant just did all the dirty work for me. But that was really cool. The second one I chose was the stealth option. Now this was my favourite, actually. You got a sniper rifle, which is your generic thing you expect when you get stealth, but you got this crossbow, and the crossbow was so damn cool. It was like Daryl Dixon off The Walking Dead. It was so satisfying to just line someone up and pluck them down with this bow and it's not a bow and arrow, what was the word I used? Just that was the right word, it's gone in my mind. But yeah, it was so cool. Crossbow's the word I'm after, yeah. It was so satisfying, and I don't know why any game that uses a bow and arrow or a crossbow, when you kill someone with that tool, I don't know if it's because it's so medieval, it just feels so good, it feels so satisfying to kill someone like that. And that's probably the one I enjoyed the most. Like I say, you could sort of get a bit of range, go up a mountain on the side, use your scope to sort of, on your sniper, to mark people out. Then you could perhaps take a couple of them out and sneak down to the rooftops of their base, and then take them out with the crossbow. But yeah, that was really satisfying, and I thought that was really cool. And the last one that I didn't get a chance to finish doing because I ran out of time halfway through, it was an aerial one where you have this sort of man-made helicopter that you fly above the base, then you have to fire grenade launchers down. And although it sounds like it could be the most fun one, it was really difficult to get a hang of, and it was really difficult to see where the enemies were while you were up there and while they were shooting at you, because you obviously fly over the top, they all see you and you're being fired at from all different directions. So despite the fact that was the one I thought would be the most OP and the most easy to do, that was probably the most difficult. But yeah, Farcry, it was only a 15-minute demo, but it was probably the most fun I had all day on any demo. Like I say, Assassin's Creed was really good to see, Project Cars was really cool, the crew was disappointing, but at the whole it was a really good time. Again, got my hands on a few little more arcade games and a couple of Nintendo games, but they're not really my scene. I did enjoy them, but they're not the kind of thing that I'll be looking to get in the future. But yeah, had a really good time. It was really enjoyable. Like I say, I'll put a little slideshow up now with some of the photos from the day. Like I said, they're not fantastic because they were taken on my phone, but it's only a little slideshow. It's nothing amazing, like I say. But that's basically it. That was my experiences at Eurogamer, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. This will be going out today, which is Sunday, so I'm recording this on the morning. It should be going out in the night. I think you'll see the Forza Horizon 2 demo earlier today, so I hope you all enjoy that, because that's going to be something that's coming to my channel. That's something that I would have played at Eurogamer had the demo not come out, so I didn't really feel the need because the demo had been out. The only game I didn't get a chance to play, actually, which I did want to, was Sunset Overdrive. But yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed it as a whole. You'll see the slideshow photos coming up in just a second. Forza Horizon 2 demo video should have been up before this, so I hope you all enjoyed that. And then tomorrow we'll be back in the groove with some career mode. So like I say, I hope you all enjoyed this vlog. I'll see you all in the next video, which will be the FIFA video tomorrow. Nidge out.